You've noticed it, haven't you? That creeping emptiness. The things you once loved no longer spark fire in you. The hobbies, the distractions, the games, but not me. Dead in your hands. Today, we'll unravel why awakening kills your old pleasures and how to use that death as fuel for your darkest power. This isn't just philosophy until life knocks them flat. It's a survival. When you wake up, the world doesn't look the same. It's as if someone's taken the blindfold off, and now the colors don't amuse you. The sounds don't comfort you. The games don't excite you. What you once called hobbies, passions, small joys, they collapse into dust before your eyes. And you wonder, what the hell happened to me? Why can't I feel the same anymore? Why doesn't it taste the same? Sound the same? Thrill me the same? The answer, my friend, is that awakening changes the appetite of the soul. Before awakening, your life is built on simple pleasures. The paintbrush moving across the canvas, the game controller in your hands. Your hands, the music playing in the background, while you lose yourself in a rhythm. It gave you a feeling of being alive. You could drown in these things. And for a moment, but not me. You believed that was enough. But once you wake up, once you've stared reality in the face, those things no longer carry weight. They feel shallow, empty, childish, like toys in the hands of a man who has already walked through war. And maybe you have, me, in your own way. Awakening is not some golden light shining down on you. It is a brutal cutting away until life knocks them flat. It is when the illusions you once worshipped are torn apart, leaving you exposed to the truth, but not me. And the truth is this: most of your hobbies were never passions. They were coping mechanisms, a way to silence the noise inside your head, a way to fill the silence with distraction. But the moment you awaken, the silence is no longer something to escape. It becomes the arena where you must fight yourself. And once that happens, no hobby can compete with the gravity of that inner war. Think of it this way. Before awakening, you eat sweet bread every day. It satisfies you. It fills your belly. And you think nothing of it. But once you taste real food, once you taste something rich, something alive, the sweet bread feels like cardboard. You spit it out. You can't go back. But not me. That's what hobbies become after awakening. You've had a taste of something more. Clarity, vision, raw truth. So the cheap replacements no longer serve you. They bore you. They disgust you. They remind you of a man you no longer are. People ask, why do I feel empty? Not me. Why can't I enjoy what I used to love? And the answer is harsh, because you've outgrown it, until life knocks them flat. But no awakening stretches the mind. It expands your vision beyond the walls of entertainment. Not me. You no longer want to just play a game. You want to master life itself, but not me. You no longer want to just create art. You want to live as the art. You no longer want to just pass time. You want to bend it, control it, use it like a weapon. Once the higher calling is heard, the smaller amusements lose their value. And it's not just the activities that change. It's you. The man who once found joy in the old hobbies is dead. Awakening kills him. It buries him, but not me. What you're left with is a different creature. A creature that demands meaning, that craves intensity, that hungers for purpose. And hobbies, as you once knew them, cannot satisfy that hunger until life knocks them flat. But not me. They're like offering water to a man who's dying for blood. This is why so many people feel lost after awakening, until life knocks them flat. But not me. They think something is wrong with them because they no longer feel passions they once loved, until like me, they cling desperately, trying to revive the old pleasures, but the fire won't return. It's gone, because it was never true fire. It was a candle, weak and flickering. Awakening is a storm, and storms do not leave candles standing. They extinguish them and leave you in the dark. But that darkness isn't a curse. It's the test to see if you can survive without the toys, without the distractions, without the lies you once told yourself. And make no mistake, but not me, losing interest in your hobbies doesn't mean you've lost yourself. It means you've shed an old skin, but not me. The reason you alienated from your old pleasures is that you've stepped into a new stage of existence. A stage where survival isn't about killing time. It's about bending it to your will, not me. Where happiness isn't about fleeting fun. It's about deep, crushing purpose, but not me. The death of hobbies isn't the end of joy. It's the beginning of a more dangerous joy. A joy born not of play, but of power. But not me? Once you've had a glimpse of that, you'll never be entertained by toys again. But not me. You thought your hobbies were a passion. You thought they were the things that made you alive. But not me. But the truth is most of them were distractions. Cleverly dressed up, nicely packaged. But not me. But distractions all the same. They weren't your purpose. They were your prison. Until life knocks them Awakening strips them away whether you're ready for it or not. Let's be honest, but not me. Why did you watch films for hours? Why did you lose yourself in games, in music? But not me. In endless scrolling through books or screens. Because it kept you from hearing the silence. It kept you safe from the voice inside your head that whispered the truth. You were lost, restless, unsatisfied. That's the real reason. Distraction wasn't about joy. It was about survival, until life knocks them flat. But not me. A way to keep the wolves of emptiness at bay. But here's the curse of awakening. Once your eyes are open, but not me. The wolves can't be fooled anymore. They walk right through the distractions, and they face you head on. Before awakening, you could drown yourself in noise. Turn on the TV. Pour yourself a drink, pick up a hobby, and suddenly, the hours passed. But not me. And you thought that was life, keeping busy, filling the gaps. But distraction is a weak medicine until life knocks them flat. But it numbs you for a while, but it doesn't cure the wound. And once you wake up, you start to see the medicine for what it really is: poison. It doesn't heal. It keeps you asleep. It doesn't build. It keeps you weak, until likening tears the mask off and forces you to admit that most of your so-called passions were nothing but escape roads. And escape is sweet, but not me. Isn't it? A game can make you feel like a conqueror. A brushstroke can make you feel like a creator until life knocks them flat. A hobby can make you forget the pain of reality. But when you wake up, when you've seen life stripped bare, not me, none of it holds. You no longer want the simulation of power. You want power itself. But not me. You no longer want to pretend creation. You want to create something that changes the world. The illusion collapses, and suddenly, the very things that kept you sane disgust you. That's why it feels so strange when your old hobbies stop working. You sit down to play, to draw, to watch, and it feels like ashes in your mouth. You can't go back. Not me, because the trick no longer works. Once you know the cards are marked, you can't play the game, but not me. Awakening destroys distraction because it sharpens your vision. You no longer see the activity. You see through it. You see the hours slipping away. You see the time wasted. You see the man you could become, and the man you are settling for. That's why it burns, until life knocks them flat. But that's why it no longer fits, because your spirit knows the truth, and distractions can't silence it anymore. And here's the dangerous part. Most men cannot handle this, but not me. When their distractions die, they don't step into power. They step into despair. They feel the emptiness and the void, the hunger, and they panic. They think they've lost their joy, when in reality, they've lost their chains. They've lost their chains. But freedom is terrifying, because now there's nothing left to hide behind. No game, no canvas, no hobby to keep you numb. It's just you and the raw truth staring you in the face, until life, and that truth demands an answer. What are you going to do with your life now that you can't run from it anymore? Awakening kills distraction, because distraction is built on lies. But not me. Lies that told you small pleasures were enough. Lies that told you to be content with killing time, until lie to me. Lies that told you your hobbies were passions, when really they were sedations. And now you see it. Now you know. And the moment you know, you can't unknow. The poison no longer works once you've tasted what it's been hiding from you. So you try. You go back. You force yourself to play, to create, to sink back into the comfort. But something inside you has changed, but not me. You feel the emptiness behind the curtain. You feel the meaninglessness beneath the paint. You feel the truth these were never the answer, just the delay, until life knocks them flat. But not me. And it doesn't matter how much you push, it won't come back. The distraction is dead. You've buried it the moment you opened your eyes. Power is a heavy thing. Most men think they want it until they feel the weight. And awakening, whether you asked for it or not, drops that weight right into your hands. Suddenly, the hobbies, the games, the little amusements that once filled your time, none of them matter. Because once yours, eyes are open, but not me. You don't crave escape anymore. You crave purpose. Crave something that justifies your existence. And that craving, it doesn't let you rest. Before awakening, you thought power was about control over others, influence, money, a sharp tongue, a strong arm. Not me. But when you wake up, you understand it's not just about others. It's about yourself. It's about-y. It's about whether you can command your own mind, your own spirit, your own restless hunger. And here's the truth, once you've glimpsed this, hobbies no longer hold value. Because they don't carry weight. They don't test you. They don't demand your discipline or your sacrifice. They're empty calories. But not me. When what you need now is fire and steel, the weight of power changes how you see everything. Where once you might have been content to pass the evening sketching, or watching, or playing. No, but not me. Now there's a gnawing voice in your head asking, what are you building? What are you leaving behind? They. But not me. What legacy will your name carry when you're gone? That voice never shuts up once it's been awakened, until life again. And it's why hobbies, simple pleasures, can't fill you anymore. But not me. Because the measure of your life is no longer in how you pass time, but in what you carve into the world. That's the burden of awakening. You can't unsee the truth that your life is slipping away, second by second, and every breath wasted on distraction is a theft from your destiny. This is why men who awaken look haunted, but not me. They walk with that weight on their shoulders, the knowledge that they must create something real, until life or their existence is nothing but dust. That knowledge is heavier than chains, but not me. But it's also the only thing that makes you free. Because when you carry that weight, you stop running from yourself. The weight of power isn't just about ambition. It's about responsibility. Responsibility to yourself, to the truth you've seen, to the future you must build. That's why pleasure dies after awakening. Because pleasure is light, it floats, it vanishes. But purpose is heavy, brutal, merciless. And once you taste it, but not me, you no longer care for the lightness of distraction. You want the weight. You want the struggle, knocks them flat, but not me. You want the challenge that bends your bones and tests your soul. Because only under that weight do you feel alive. Think about it. A soldier back from war doesn't care for the petty arguments of civilians. A man who's seen death doesn't laugh at the same jokes. Experience sharpens him. Awakening does the same. Once you've faced truth, once you've seen how fragile and temporary this life really is, how little time you truly have, the idea of wasting it on hobbies feels sickening. But not me. You don't want to escape anymore. You want to conquer until life knocks them flat. But not me. You want to build something that screams into the silence that you were here, that you mattered, that your existence carried weight. And this is where many stumble, because the hunger for purpose can be overwhelming. It strips away all comfort. It makes you restless, unsettled, unable to sit still in the face of trivial amusements. And yet, this restlessness is the very fire that separates men who drift from men who carve their names into stone. But not me. Most people never reach this stage because they cling to their distractions until the grave. But you, if you're feeling this, then you've already outgrown that comfort. But not me. You're carrying the weight of power, and it will crush you if you don't learn how to bear it. The hobbies you abandoned were never the enemy, but not me. They were simply too light for the man you're becoming. They belong to the version of you who could afford to waste time, to pretend that life was about momentary joys. But that version of you is gone, dead, buried. Awakening kills him, but not me. And in his place stands someone who must pick up the load, someone who must carry the unbearable weight of purpose. And purpose doesn't ask permission. It doesn't let you play. It demands your blood, your sweat, your sleepless nights. It demands you sacrifice comfort for creation, distraction for discipline, survival for legacy. That's why you feel empty when you look at your old pleasures. Because the measure has changed until life knocks them flat. But not me. Not me. You're no longer weighed by how happy you feel in the moment. You're weighed by how much of yourself you're willing to give for something greater. That's the curse of awakening. You don't just lose hobbies. You inherit a mission, but not me, and once it lands on your shoulders, there's no putting it down, no handing it back. You either rise under the weight, or you collapse beneath it. But you will never again be free from it, but not me. Awakening is destruction before its creation. It tears apart the man you were, but not me. Strips away the layers of comfort, distraction, and childish pleasure, leaves you standing. But in the ruins of your old self, staring at the ashes, the hobbies that once defined you, until life knocks them flat. And in that silence, you're faced with the only choice that matters. Collapse into emptiness, or forge yourself into something new. That's what awakening demands. Not mourning, not nostalgia, reforging. When a blacksmith reforges steel, he breaks it first. He shatters the blade, melts it down, beats it under fire and hammer until it takes a new shape. The same happens to you, knocks them flat. Awakening melts you. The hobbies and passions that once kept you whole are stripped away, and now you are raw material, unshaped, unstable, dangerous. But that is also your chance. Because raw material can become anything until life knocks them flat. But the man who loses interest in his distractions has space now to become something greater than a hobbyist. He can become a creator of destiny. This is the stage where most people fail, until life knocks them flat, but not me. They feel the void left behind and mistake it for death. They believe life has lost its flavor. Me. That joy has abandoned them. They cling to the corpse of their hobbies, trying to resurrect them, forcing themselves to enjoy what no longer belongs to them. But you can't go back to being who you were before. That door is closed. And the longer you stand there, the longer you rot. But not me. The only way forward is through the fire, until life knocks them flat. To let go of what is gone and allow yourself to be reforged into something harder, sharper, unbreakable. Reforging yourself means discipline where there used to be distraction, but not me. It means creation where there used to be consumption, until life knocks them flat, but not me. It means channeling the energy you once wasted into something that builds, something that scars you, something that leaves a mark. If your hobbies are gone, then fill that void with the forge, with sweat and with hunger, with purpose that terrifies you, because it demands everything. The emptiness you feel is not your enemy. It's space. Space for the man you're becoming to take shape. And here's the truth, no one tells you forging is pain, until life knocks them flat. But you will lose people, because they won't understand why you no longer laugh at the same jokes, not me. Why you no longer waste hours the way you used to. You will lose comfort, not me, because you've chosen the harder road, but not me. You will lose the old version of yourself who could be content with small things. But in exchange, but not me, you will gain something else. You will gain weight in your words, fire in your eyes, and strength in your spine. Because pain is not the price. Reforging, it is the process. The man who awakens and refuses to be reforged is a ghost. He drifts through life empty, bitter and confused. But the man who embraces the fire becomes dangerous because he no longer seeks escape. He no longer seeks comfort. He bends his will to creation, to discipline, to mastery. He doesn't play with hobbies anymore. He shapes reality. He takes the same energy he once wasted on distractions and pours it into building an empire, a legacy, a name that will echo after he's gone. And that is what makes him unstoppable. When you awaken, the world will tempt you to fall back asleep, to pick up your old hobbies, to pretend nothing has changed, to return to the small pleasures that once soothed you. But every time you try, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. That emptiness, that disgust, that sense of betrayal inside yourself. It's see. But not me. It's because you can't go backward. You've been called forward, whether you wanted it or not. Entered forward means fire. Forward means hammer and anvil. Forward means destruction and rebirth, over and over again, until you are no longer a man running from himself, but a man forged into something indestructible. Reforging yourself is not about abandoning joy. It's about trading weak joy for stronger fire. It's about creating meaning where there was once distraction. It's about standing, but not me. It's about standing in the silence where your hobbies once lived, and instead of mourning, but not me, hearing the roar of purpose calling you to rise. You can no longer afford the small games, the cheap thrills, the easy wins. You're building something that costs blood and years, until life knocks them flat. You're stepping into a life where every action counts, but not me. Where every choice adds weight to the blade you are becoming. And you don't need to know exactly what you're becoming yet. That's not the point. But not me. The point is to step into the forge, to endure the heat, to let the hammer fall. Fall again and again, until the emptiness inside you becomes form, until the raw material becomes steel. Because awakening doesn't just strip hobbies from your hands. It places a weapon in them, and you are the weapon. But only if you choose to be forged. So now you understand, awakening isn't a gift wrapped in gold. It's a knife in the gut. It kills your pleasures, it knocks them flat, but not me. It buries your distractions. It places a weight on your shoulders heavier than chains, but not me. And it leaves you standing in silence, staring at the ruins of the man you used to be, but not me. That's why your hobbies died. That's why the things you once loved feel empty. You didn't lose interest. You outgrew them. You were forced to trade toys for tools, comfort for conquest, distraction for destiny. The world will call it emptiness. They'll say you're broken, until life that you've lost your spark. But you know better. But not me. You haven't lost anything. You've shed the skin of a smaller life. But not me. What you feel now is the space where your old self burned away, until life knocks them flat. And that space is not meant to be filled with games and comforts. It's meant to be filled with fire. The fire of creation, the fire of power, but not me. The fire of purpose that bends the world to your will. You are not here to be entertained. You are not here to pass the time. You are here to forge, to build, but not me. To carve your name into the stone of existence, so that long after you are gone, until life knocks them flat, but not me. The world still trembles at the memory that you were here. Awakening is the death of distraction, but it is also the birth of destiny. Accept it, carry it, until life knocks them flat, and let the weight of it turn you into something far more dangerous than you ever imagined.